Yeah, I'm gonna make a series of videos starting with this one. So if you're interested in it, watch it. I made a list. So I gotta remove the heater box, the swing away steering, pull out the dash. So to do those things, I gotta pull out the seat, the front seats, and the console. Again, these came out of the XL if you're watching my videos. So for the dash, I'm thinking about changing around the instruments. I'm not sure. I just don't like these old instruments. And some of them don't work. The clock doesn't work. The radio's old-fashioned, but it doesn't work anyway. The speaker, might put in a tilt column if I can figure out how to do it. I think I said I got to paint the dash. It was a padded dash. The pad's off. I took the pad off in other videos, and I got to paint it. I haven't decided what color. I'm thinking about blue on the outside and black on the inside. And then whatever problems I run into, I've never done it, so it can't be that hard. And I'll be going to the back and forth to the book, see if I can find any information. And anybody that's interested in so I'm going to make this real detailed about how everything goes together, how you pull it apart. It's not going to be short videos. I don't know how. And that's it. Just so this is going to be video one, and I don't know where it's going to end when the dash gets back in, the steering column's back in, and the heater box is back in. Okay, well anyway, this is swing away steering. You pull that lever, the drive lever up, and then you can swing it. But to get this dash out, this is kind of in the way. It's kind of in the way of me just getting in here. I mean, the front seats are in the way, and this is in the way. So in here, we're now right here. Right here, there's a pivot. In other words, this part doesn't move. This arm right here, if you can see it, swings. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can reach into the steering wheel and film at the same time. I don't know if you can see it, but it's moving. So the first thing I got to do is take this cover off and see what's under here. This appears to be a pivot bracket. Okay, so I took that cover off. That piece coming out of the firewall, you see that pin sticking up? That sticks right into there. And these 3 bolts. 1, 2, 3. Now this piece here, you can see I can get my hand underneath it. This is part of the steering column. Okay, I'm going to explain how I think this works. So here's that bracket I took off. There's that pivot joint. And here's a flex coupling. Now this flex coupling goes into a spline here and a spline there. I think the way this whole thing is moving is this flex coupling is just kind of going like that. So since the shaft is like, let's just say 3 feet long, this flex coupling barely needs to move. So from what I can see, I need to get that screw out of there, or bolt, or whatever it is, and then pull the column out. Above the engine compartment on the inside, there's a dust shield and an escutcheon plate that's on the firewall. Getting back to this piece with a pin, I think that's welded on there. So I'm going to show you how I think this swing away steering works. So let's pretend like this is the steering wheel up here, and this is the pivot point. So it swings about that far. It swings about that far. So actually, down there only moves it like 1/8 of an inch. So I think that flexible coupling just flexes a little bit. Okay, so I got to take these seats out. And probably going to take out that console. So There's a bunch of holes in the floor here where the seat goes because I moved it 3 inches. I think that was the original hole. But anyway, so I marked it. That's where the bolt goes in the floor. That's where this bolt goes in the floor. And I marked the front of the track. A few videos back, I don't know when, I moved the seats back 3 inches because it was just too tight for me because the steering column doesn't tilt. If it tilted, it would be no problem. But it doesn't. So I moved the seats back 3 inches, and now when I sit in this seat, I can fully extend my legs. Okay, I got the seats out. Now you can see why I marked it. I don't need that hole, that hole, that hole, that hole, that hole, that hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 holes I don't need. Okay, I took the center console out. I'm gonna lay down blankets here. Like I say, I'm not sure if I should take the column out or the heater box out first. I think the heater box is supposed to come out first, so I'll probably concentrate on that. Okay, so I'm laying on the floor looking at what I got to take off. So let's wiggle this knob here. I'm going to slide the top one. I'm going to slide the bottom one. Okay, I guess that's I don't know what this knob is, but that's the one. Yeah, you can see it moving a box inside there too. So I got to take that off. I got to take this. Looks like there's some resistor wires in here, so I got to unplug this. There's a brace running across here. The other cable, this top one, I think is that one back there. Again, I know this is hard to look at upside down, but there's also one more cable here that's running to the radio. Which I don't need because it's already cut. And I got one heat duct out. So that one goes on this side if you're in the driver's seat on the right. And the other one goes on the left. But I can't get it out because I got to get this cross brace out of here. And this mystery wire that I still don't understand, it hooks in here up in here somewhere. Like I said, I need to get this, cardboard glove compartment. Okay, I went out and got some tools. So I got this one, it popped off straight up. This one I disconnected before. I took this clip off, but I need some pliers or something to get this washer off. I undid this. Okay, I got the glove box out. The way it comes out is it goes up in and then turns. You turn it in. Yeah, so now that the glove box is out, I can see it hooked, it's connected right there. Okay, so that's the top lever. Also, there's some kind of boot that's just gone. Okay, I got that cable off, and then I put this clip back on. That right there is rusted on. I gotta spray some. Okay, I put a metal plate behind it, heated it, squirted it, heated it, squirted it, finally got it loose. Okay, there's the other end of this bar. So anyway, this cable, it's one of these buttons over here, I think. Let me see if I can reach over there. This steering column's right in the way. Yeah, that's it. That's a vent. I didn't know that. I think it goes behind it. Here's the brake pedal. I think these two long bars coming out of here are holding all this up, which is good. I think to drop this, I don't know what this thing is. I can't see in there. Can anybody see what's in there? Let me get a light. What is up in there? And I think I had a couple bolts, and I think this thing will drop out. And then I gotta undo all these, and I get this column out of here. Because right now, look at, see, it's a real pain in the ass when the column's on the way. Okay, I think I got everything under the dash removed. So now I gotta remove this hose here, and that lower hose that goes into the heater core. There's a pad. I guess it's a pad to block up the hole, and there's one down there. I don't see any wires coming out of here. There has to be wires going to the fan, but I don't see them. So they're probably up over the heater box. We'll find out. I cut the hoses with that, and I sliced it. This is like the stuff you find in packages. It's kind of styrofoam, not really rubber. Okay, so now the heater core can slip through. And now I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I took those 4 bolts out, and it just fell back. Except for that one right there. So now we'll see, and you can see the top of the heater core went through and the bottom. So I think it's going to come out. We'll find out. So here's that cable. That's the vent pull switch. That. And here's what I was talking about, that boot. I don't even know if they sell them, but anyway. And here's the 2 wires I just connected that go to the fan. So it came out pretty easy, really. So I'm just going to disconnect this, and then I'll pull this thing out of here. Again, I document this for me, but so this vent cable that we're working on, there's a clip here. There's a little notch here it slips in. I took those out already. There's a double kind of notch here. And then I got to pull that little hat off. So again, the cable that goes from way over to that control is this one. And this has to be put on before the box goes on. And there's a little cap right here. That's where it goes. If that makes sense later on, future me. So here's the heater box. This is the vent. Fan motor. This is the upper. I kind of bent it. When I cut it too close, but it really clamps back here. So this is the upper, lower radiator hose. Like I say, that's the pull vent. When we turn it up the way it was, This must be defrost, because that goes up to the defroster. I guess defroster or floor, that's what that is. And this, I don't know what that is. Actually, I think that's heat. So if it's in one position, it won't get through the radiator core. That's my guess. And here's the resistor. This is the 3-wire connection. That's the 1-wire connection. And these are the 2 other connections. If I said it, but this is not in bad shape. I can't believe it. So there wasn't a lot of water getting in here. Here's part of that seal I was talking about. Look at it. Here, so I guess to get the heater core out, screws off. There's no way to get the heater core out without taking this out. Let's see in there. Let me get a light. Is that a rat? Yeah, that's a dead rat. I'm gonna pick this thing up, tilt it, and see what else comes out. I guess it wasn't a rat, I guess a mouse. So I want to pull the steering column out next. I think I started this video with that. So we're gonna have to disconnect down in there. Somehow I need to mark this, but I don't want to lose the clocking of this because I had to turn the wheel. In other words, the steering wheel and the wheels need to line up, so I need to make sure. Yeah, I would say that if I had done this, if I did this again, you could probably do this in an hour. No problem. Maybe a little longer getting tools together and then laying down blankets. I'm gonna break this loose and hang it somehow before I mess around over there. I'm under the dash again. Yesterday I was talking about this. I was looking at it with just a wire. Clips in there, but I'm not. This slides. That hooks around, so it hooks onto this one and it hooks onto this one. Anyway, I gotta undo this bolt. If you can see it, this bolt. I'll take another shot. There's this bolt. Up there is the vent, I think. So this is the lever right here, the first one from the steering wheel. Unplug this. I think this is the neutral safety. Also, while I'm down here, I think I should take this panel out. Looks like it's 1, 2, 3 screws. I'm kind of curious what is behind here. All this is doing is hooking the column to this piece on both sides, so it'll slide. It'll still slide, but that's what this is for. So I got that mystery solved. I also need to disconnect. These are the wires coming out of the horn and so on. Okay, I got the metal retainer and the boot loose. Okay, so I crawled out of there. I'm telling you, these blankets are great. So I tied the rope around the steering column because I'm pretty sure it's going to drop. Just hooked it around the hinge and then back to here. So I got one more bolt and I'm sure it'll be loose. I already got the bolt loose on that side. I think it's this piece right here. I got to take these 3 nuts or bolts out of here because this is sliding on top of this. This thing needs to go that way. So I'm going to take those off and I'm pretty sure that's it. Yep, that's it. Pretty sure I got all the wires free. Yeah. Okay, I'm done down here until I can somehow get this column to come this way. Yeah, I see one more problem. When I pull the column out, this is gonna hit this pedal, I think. Maybe not. We'll see. So that nut down there is a 12-point, I think they call them 12-point nuts, but I don't have a 12-point socket. But this 11mm seems to work. I somehow got to mark this so I can line it back up. I scratched a mark on this steering box. It didn't show up good, so then I painted it white and scratched it again. So this future me, there's scratches under that white mark. So anyway, that's how I think it should line up. So I just gotta loosen that bolt and then try to pry this apart. Yeah, it's coming apart, no problem. Forgot to take the shifting rod loose, I'll show you. Yeah, well, I'll just show you this the best I can. This material was up in there. Anyway, it's out. I'm gonna go look at the book and see what is supposed to be here. And I guess this, like, I don't want to take this off here yet. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. So I guess there's a ground from the steering column to this, to the steering box, to the frame for all this stuff. Not sure what this is here. Why that hole's there, I don't know yet. Anyway, I got the steering column out. I got the heater box out today. And now I want to get the dash out tomorrow. Right now, I'm just going to clean up everything, mark all my parts so I don't forget what's what. Like these three little ones. Go with that. And this piece, we know what that is. That holds the under the steering column. And I guess these are the steering boot. And this, I already forgot what this is, but I took a video of it. Oh, I guess there's that goes there. Oh, I know what this is. These are the two. Again, this is for me. These are the two that hold the steering column up. Which goes right, let Let's see, where would that be? Which goes through here. So let's just to end this video today, I want to look under there again and see what is left that's part of the swing away steering. I don't want to forget where these pieces go. This goes here. That's where the shift knob goes. Anyway, I'm going to turn the camera off. I can't do it with one hand. So here's what's left of the swing away. So this piece, that piece with the spring, this is where the column sits. So I was just hooking these two pieces together. This is part of the. If you want to put a swing away in, you got to have this particular dash. This piece here, which I guess is just securing this. There's a bumper. Swing the steering over, it hits here, it stops here. This is adjustable. This is spring loaded. Else, I'm gonna go look on the car I have outside and see if it has this. I think this is part of the swing away, I'm not sure. So it'd be this, the dash, that brace. There's another brace that's welded onto here. It goes up to there, which now I look at it, I'm just wondering, is that part of the dash? No, I don't think that's the dash. I think the dash, see the blue I think is the dash. That must be a piece under the dash. Anyway, tomorrow I'm going to do my best to get out of here. I don't think any of this is attached to the dash. That's what I'm really looking at right here. There's the wiper motor, which I think bolts again under the dash. So how the heck do you change it? You pull the dash? Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to look at this. Okay, I'm just doing this for me. These four, I went around and cleaned all the pieces up. These four go here. One. Two. Three. Four. This piece here, this is that 12 point I was talking about. Let's see, that goes, okay, that goes there. What do we got left? I'm just going to say this one more time for me. These are the pieces that go through that hold the column to the bottom of the dash. These hold the boot. This holds the sliding apparatus to the bottom of the column. And this hooks onto the bottom of the dash. And these three go there, which is right there. Again, I'm saying this because I might forget. So this slips on like, and this piece it slides on top of that part we were just looking at underneath the dash. That yeah, I don't completely understand this part right now, but and there's an adjustment on here. There's an adjustment. Anyway, that's it. Then I caught some antifreeze when I pulled out the heater core. And that's it. So now I'm just going to see if I have anything else. found this on the floor. This came off the seat underneath. I gotta put that away. That goes in there. I think it does. And this firewall, this other part of the dash, I don't know if this is just for the swing away or not, but anyway, this end goes to the firewall. I left the bolt in the firewall. Not in the firewall, but in that, maybe it's the firewall, in that area. And this end goes under the dash, and that's the bolt. So I'm going to go outside and look to see if those brace parts I was talking about are on the other car. One more thing I'm curious about that I'm going to look at again. I looked at it before. This is the automatic on the tree, I call it, on the column. This is out of the XL, but this is well, I guess what I'm saying, it's not a floor shifter. It's not a 4-speed or an automatic floor shifter. My question is, I think heat goes through there and can come out the back of this grill. Now this let me turn this. Let me think, what's up or down? I forgot already. This must be, yeah. Okay, so looking at this one, that's it. I think on the XL that had the console, there's an extra piece on here. I want to go look at that. So I want to look at that, and I want to see what's underneath the dash for the, if you have a swing away or you don't. Okay, from what I'm looking at right here, it does have this piece. And I guess it does have this piece. So there's the heating box. Let me look at this. There is a slot right there. Does the other heating box have that? I can't remember. I'm gonna look at it. I mean, now that I know how to take this all apart, I could take parts out of here if I wanted to. Let me just go on the other side. I can't quite see in here. I can't lay on my back. But you know what? This is swing away steering. I'm pretty sure this is swing away. Yeah, this is. But I think some parts are missing. I'm not sure. Well, this is swing away steering. Interesting. I didn't know that. I can tell because of that because of this piece right here. And it's got a different kind of boot on it. That might be a replacement boot. You see that? Plastic boot there. And it's got the sliding dash. So anyway, this is different. It doesn't have that, doesn't come to a triangle. Now what I was thinking is I could take that piece and put it on here. I mean, I was thinking that a couple of months ago, but it looks like this is a molded piece. But I think, I'll have to go back and look at the video. I think this could blow into the console. I'm gonna have to go back out there one more time. I'm gonna take a picture right like that. I think that's the same. It is. It just has that added piece. Oh, but this looks like it's in better shape. Let's go see if we can see what they show here in the book. Anyway, now that we took it apart, some of this makes more sense. Like that cover retaining spring piece. I didn't know what that was. So we know what that is. So I guess looking at this and looking at that, this is stationary. This is movable. So the differences are that piece there that has the column, which is this piece, and this right here, and this and that. That's it. I don't know where that is. Where is that? Oh, that's the shifter. The other difference is that this column bolts straight up. This bolts to the side. This has got shift levers on it too, so this must be, I don't know, 4-speed on the column. I don't know what that is. Well, let's see, standard and overdrive transmission. So they came with overdrive, huh? And these. And these two plates are not on here, whatever they are. Escutcheon plate right side, escutcheon plate left side. Why isn't it on here? Oh, I know why. I think because this has to swing. Anyway, that's so why did I come over here? I came over here to see what was in here, and they don't show it. Yeah, there should be a nylon bushing. I don't have that. I think. No, that's down here. They don't show that end. Right? That goes into here. This is down at the bottom. They don't show that in. That's stupid. No. This is the stationary column. It has a nylon bushing. With a movable, get it. I don't get it. Don't get it. Yeah, one last thing to me. I just don't want to forget how this goes together. So I put those pieces in here. I marked them. I put this piece back on here. Remember, you got to take this off when you put it on. And I think this material, whatever this stuff is, gets stuffed up in there, even though I can't find a detail on it. Because I guess that's where this thing pivots. Like I say, it only needs 1/8 of an inch. You probably got 1/4 in there. I think this is the pivot material. And then these, I guess we can remember that. That is the the heater core insulating waterproof pads that go in on the firewall. And this is the piece that goes on the steering box. I think that's it. Yeah, I just noticed one more thing I just wanted to add in here before I forget. This side panel here, I think this piece goes all the way up to here before you put the dash in. There's no way, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. Anyway, that's what I see. You see all that play in there? This is the stuff that was in there. It's like cotton. Anyway, I think I need to try to find a bushing. So I'm going to measure the outside diameter and the shaft diameter and try to find something that stuffs in there. Like I said, I can't find a picture on it or in the book. So I'm just going to measure it and write it down. So I got the calipers in there. The inside reads like 1 and in between 3/8 and 7/16. And the shaft reads 3/4. Yeah, and I might try to make or put in a tilt column. So it's like 32 inches. And then to make this swing away work, I need this the same size. That's 2 1/4. So if I do this, I need to take that piece off, need to mount that piece, and I need this piece. Or I just need the whole inner piece shaft. This probably makes more sense. Anyway, it's just something I'm going to think about. Okay, I'm laying on my back again under the dash. I'm gonna try to pull out the steering column. I mean, not the steering column, the dash. But I'm looking under here at the wiring to see what I need to disconnect. I'd like to pull everything out at once. I'm just not sure. But I'm gonna make it detailed. Let's just take a look at it all. Okay, well, the fuse box is over there. I disconnected the wires to the steering column. Up here is the motor, the windshield wiper motor. I need to disconnect these two here, and this and this. Well, I'm not even sure what all that is. But look at this, 1, 2, and there's about 6 wires there. And over here, the door button switch, and a door button switch on the other side. And I'm thinking about removing this swing away piece. It's just It's in my way. I can't see what's up in here. There shouldn't be any wiring. Undoing the dash on the firewall side, the plugs. So this will come, the fuse box will come out with everything else, and the motor will stay in here. And I think that's all it has to stay. Oh, and here's the connection to the brace I was talking about that goes to the dash. Anyway, I got to work this out. So again, I think I said it yesterday. I got to disconnect here for sure. That's the dash tying in here. So I got to take that bolt out. There's wires going to the taillights. They're right here. I'm laying on my back. This is the end of the transmission hump. So looking at this wire, it looks like it's goes right here. All the lights that go to the back. Okay, I got that kick panel off. I also noticed I got to unplug this. This is pretty sure that's neutral safety. I think I said that before, but I think that's it. Found the dimmer switch. That's over there. I think I will take this thing out of here. It's in my way. I can't see what's going on up there. Okay, I took this tilt-away piece away. So it's good I did, because both these bolts are part of the dash. And there's 2 bolts here. Go over to here. This is the dash bolt. There's a nut on top, so I think the dimmer switch unplugs right here. I think. Yeah. I just popped this out of here, and you can unplug it there. I found one of these in the glove compartment, by the way. It was broken. It must be for the other side. And then I got to undo this heater control up there near the yellow wire. And that yellow wire I put in, that was my bypass to the coil. I have to disconnect that. That bolt right there is freaking almost frozen. I think I can leave that piece. Probably can't see it, but it's connected. There's a Y off of here. So I got to slip this wire up out of that hole. Somebody made a repair here. So that's how you get this, get the wire down to the door switch and the dimmer. Okay, I think I got everything out, except for the speedometer cable, which I can't get at. It's right up in here. I'm gonna have to pull the dash out and then reach down in and disconnect it. Anyway, I got this side disconnected as far as I know, except for the speedometer cable. Yeah, so now I'm gonna go to that side. I think all I gotta do is disconnect the door switch. I found one in the glove compartment. Yeah, right here. Looks like somebody cut it. I also found this. I don't know what this is. So anyway, I gotta take off that side panel, pull those wires out through the firewall after I take that kick panel of the light switch. Yeah, this kick panel doesn't have 3 bolts for some reason. Let's get this out of my way. Get this out of here. I'm not gonna be using this again. It's filthy. Anyway, just throw it on the floor. Antenna, if I can get it out of a flat screwdriver with it. But you can see the boot shot. Take this bolt out. Make sure you put a wrench on top of here. And I think that's it. Anyway, that's how you do it. Okay, I got to pull these off. And you see these little tabs here? I think there's 4 of them. And then push these through. This is the back of the fuse box as far as I know. There's a screw here. That might be holding these 2 might be holding the fuse box on. And then I gotta disconnect this yellow wire. So remember, that's where the yellow wire goes. Okay, this thing's heavier than it looks. That wasn't bad. It's heavy. This is really a 2-man job. I just want to remember that one cable ran through here to the heater box. I can't remember which cable it was. I can look at the video. That's what it looks like. So that's all I'm going to do for today, except for make sure I know where all the bolts are. I'll do a close-up. So this is the driver's side. Here's this cable is the vent on the driver's side. This other long cable, this other long cable, or this long cable, goes to the passenger side vent. These 2 I'm not sure about, but I guess I can just move the levers in there. I can see them now. You can also see what I disconnected. Again, with a 2-man job, this would be easy. And with 2 men, that's one of the door plugs I found that didn't have wire nuts. That's the backup lights. Don't remember what that is. I think these are the wiper. I think this is the wiper motor. I think. There's the speaker. I'll figure out how to take that off later. Can't remember what that is. I'm gonna go through the video and or look at my wiring diagram. I'd say that's a rat's nest there. Well, there's his entrance. Here's all this poop. See what we got on this side. He couldn't get in there. Anyway, the only thing I would say is this. Once you get everything loose, it'd be nice to have two people. But yeah, this is the way to do it. Because if I had two people, I'm going to say it again. If I had two people, you can hold it in there and push this right in place. If not, I would have had to disconnect. If I would have left that in, I would have had to disconnect all this stuff. And I had no idea how to get up in there. Here's the bracket. This might be unique to the tilt steering. Again, I'm going to leave it for now. Here's these sliding doors. Or the sliding steering wheel block-off plate, I guess you'd call it. Let's see, this is the glove compartment light. Right here, I'll do a close-up. You see these slots here? This is the stock dash pad. It had clips that clipped in. And here's the cable, the speedometer cable. And hit this, I'm just going to tell you what I see. This here is the voltage regulator that keeps like 5 volts going for things that stay going, like the clock, which doesn't work. I guess the clock is, I think the clock is here. Let's see, clock, radio. Here's one of these clips here. Clock, radio, climate control, key switch. This is undone. I think I undid that. This is what usually sends. This is a ballast resistor wire. Let me zoom in on that. See, that's a ballast resistor wire. Okay, this is for me. I might have said this twice, but these bolts here, so this is upside down right now, I think. No. The sky's up here. These two bolts here, here, and there must be another one right behind that. Just kind of looking at how this thing's put together. These two bolts I took off because when I took these, it dropped. So this is the right side. This is the driver's side of the dash. Right. Right here. The passenger side is this loose bolt. mean, is that it? Now I'm gonna play with this tomorrow. I think this thing is supposed to be able to slide easy. Right now I got my hip against it. I can't move it. I'm pretty sure this thing should be able to just slide across here. There's no grease, there's some rust. There's a bumper stop on this side. Might be a bumper stop on that side. This thing is the center of the column. The column goes, so the column bolts into these. I don't even remember where those pieces are. Let's see. Again, this is for me. I'm trying to remember this. Those, I think, are these. This and this. This piece here slid on top of, I think right here. This is something, this, I don't understand it right this second, but when you lift the drive lever up to swing this, somehow, when you lift the drive lever up, somehow that releases this. Yeah, because when you lift, let's see, I'm gonna lift the drive lever up. Well, it's not, I can't do it right now, but that's what it is. That's the lock. When you lift this up, it does something here. And pull, and allows this to, I guess, jump up to here. This thing needs to be cleaned. Anyway, that's it. This side, the driver's side had 3 volts for some reason. Passenger side had 2. Let's see what I do with the other one of those. I think this is a stock one. It's just the push pin in type. That's why they had the wire nuts on there, I think. Let's see, the wire nuts were over here. No? This is the passenger side. Yeah. This is not a factory, so that's why they have that. Anyway, it's 4:30 or 4:20. I think this took, again, if I was younger and I hadn't just had this operation and I wasn't 70 years old, I bet you could take this out in two hours, maybe even an hour. So really, if you knew what you were doing, I think you could take the heater out, the steering out, the dash out in about 4 hours. I think. If you had help, it'd be an easy 4 hours. So that's it. Success. I got the stuff out. Yeah, before I quit, I just decided to. I got the rest of that mouse stuff out of there. I sanded it, and then I put some rust reformer. The rat piss is what makes rust. So anyway, it's out of there. Actually, this is in pretty damn good shape. I'm surprised if I didn't already say that. That's it for sure for today. Thursday.